Hello, welcome to Topical Tuesday, February 20th, 2018. Finally, we're getting a little taste of winter here in spectacularly sunny Arizona. Went down near freezing yesterday into the mid-30s as the low overnight, and today it's barely, I don't even think it's getting up into the 60s, so no silly red Hawaiian shirt today. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. And perhaps you can see in the background, but I don't know if you can, that the Four Peaks, which is pretty much due east of here, got some snowfall last night. So that's real close to us here. There are snow-peaked mountains. And I saw in the weather this morning, the Grand Canyon had a low this morning around dawn. It was -9 degrees in Arizona. What's up, Rudin? So, yes, we can even have winter here, although it's a heck of a lot more mild than it is everywhere else I lived earlier in my life. So, rhino of the day today is this charging rhino. Right there, picture, drawing of a charging rhino from Scott Alexander's Rhinoceros Success book. And that's because, as I wrote in the description of the video, you see these kids leading the charge here. In the wake of last week's tragic, yet another one of these mass, lunatic student goes back into the school and shoots up people, and total craziness. So I think, as far as I can recall, I'm not paying, obviously, too much attention to the news. I never do. But I don't recall a time that there was this much of a groundswell of emotion towards actually affecting some kind of a change in either, gun rights or background checks or what parts or ammunition of what type of guns you can have or whatever. There's all kinds of discussions going on. We've got a complete do-nothing Congress, of course. It's been that way for almost 20 years now. So they were never going to do anything. And half of them, at least, are bought and paid for by lobbyists, including the NRA and others that, mean they're really never doing anything. And so if politicians, which they always do after every one of these, the adults in the room, right? People in the media, people, pundits, politicians, experts, you name it, they all come out with all their solutions. Oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. No one ever listens, no one ever does anything. Suddenly, these teenagers are coming out, and holy moly, they're incredibly well-spoken. These are teenagers. I saw some interview this morning, and somebody was asking after they showed a clip of these kids, wow, are these kids like on the debate team or what? They're like, yeah, some of them are in acting. Speaking of Ruben, who's here, they went to acting classes. They're in the acting, theater part of the school. They're on the debate team. They're in student government. They're very well-spoken, and they're saying, hey, we got to do something here. Hey, Brett. So it seems to me like things are being done. Immediately, President Trump comes out and he signs some executive order about something, and Congress is meeting about something, and it's an election year, and I just have a feeling that action is going to happen because you see these teenagers taking charge. They're getting attention, and they are having a groundswell of emotion and action, and they're planning this march coming along in March, a march in March. And just the threat of, hey, this march, we're going to march all around the country, the fact that it's kids, is getting attention. So, a couple of business lessons from that. Number one, you got to use kids in your marketing anytime you can. Do you have your own kids? Do you have nieces, nephews, grandkids? Have them write columns in your newsletters. Have them write sales letters. I have clients of mine very famously sending out letters written by their kids, even 5-year-old kids, with a little drawing and saying we're having a special and my dad wants you to know, and blah. Kids get attention. Kids get people to take action. People have emotional and almost always positive responses to kids, whereas to adults, especially if it's ourselves touting our own business, of course you are. But if I had a little kid and I had a 5-year-old kid saying, hey, sent out a letter to everybody, hey, please call my dad. He's just finished work on a big project. He's looking to take on a new client, and I hope it's you because I really like you, with a little smiley face or something. That's going to get a lot more attention than if I send out the letter saying pretty much the same thing. Mike Putnam is here. Great seeing you. So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two is watch for things happening in the news that affect you and your business and be prepared to jump on it. So people that are in the, gun control, it's the guns kill people and all that kind of thing, are always waiting for a terrorist attack or a mass shooting or something to jump on it and start, going crazy with their marches and their speeches, and they're going all over TV and this and that and whatever. Like, how about in your business? Can you think of, you really should, think of things in your business or with your chosen who, your target market, things they're interested in, and that you feel passionately about, and you can be a little controversial about, or a lot controversial about, so that when something happens in the news, you don't just sit there and go like, this, I'll tell you a story. I met somebody at a conference years ago, and this person, I said, what kind of business are you in? It was a tech conference, and they were like, oh, I've got a system for cyber security for websites, so the companies don't lose their stuff, don't get hacked and whatever this. And I'm like, you must be having a field day right now. And that's because like 2 days before, there was this huge hacking. They're happening all the time now, but, site was hacked into, or maybe the Sony with the Korean movie was hacked or something like that. There was some big hacking thing in the news. And I'm like, your phone must be ringing off the hook. You must be having a field day with promotion and marketing right now, how easy it is to do when everyone's thinking about the hacking. And he was like, what? Huh? What? Yeah, no, we're not. I'm like, what a missed opportunity. So when things happen in the news that have anything at all to do with your business, your message, or just your target market, that you can twist it around and put a message in with your business, that's powerful, folks. People are paying attention to that topic in the news, and they're more likely to pay attention to whatever you're talking about. You're more likely to get interviewed on radio or TV if you can come up with a message that's got something to do with something going on in the news. Third lesson, and who's here? Jim is here. Welcome. Third and final message of the day along this kids having power in business is just one other success story. Just have to mention that I started my first multi-million-dollar business when I was a student. I had a hobby when I was in my last year of law school, and I turned that into a business. Actually, it was the last year of law school. I started it in 1984. And when I graduated, I didn't want to be a lawyer, and I turned that into a business. Within a few years, became the largest fantasy sports game company in the world. Multi-million-dollar business success. Started as a student. Google started as students. Mark Zuckerberg started as a student. Facebook, like students all over the place nowadays within technology are starting businesses. They get a lot of energy, and they're getting things going. So if you can use students to work in your business, to promote your business, if you just use students or kids in your family anytime you want to connect with your marketplace or get the word out or get attention, students and teenagers and kids have more energy, they get more attention. And if you are one, of course, like now's the time to not be looking for a minimum wage job that's going to be replaced soon by an iPad or by a robot or both. It's to be looking to start a business. You've got all the energy if you are a teenager in your youth, and you ought to be not thinking about conforming the way public schools teach you to do in colleges. They teach you the bell rings, go to the next class. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. You have to wait a whole year, no matter how smart you are or how slow you are. After a whole year, everyone moves up at the same time. That's not the real world. Like, start a business, and you can grow it as fast as you want or as slow as you want. And you go at your own pace, and you make your own money, and you basically have your own freedom and rule your own life. So, many lessons today from the fact that I see all the attention that these very well-spoken organized kids. Also, it's, I guess, another lesson, thanks to technology. These kids can organize these marches with their Facebook and their Twitter and their Snapchats and whatever they text messaging. They can very quickly and easily mobilize people for marches, for causes, because they do it all the time for their own events, for parties, and who's going to the movies, and who's hanging out here, and who's carpooling over to the football game Friday night, and boom, they organize a lot of people real quickly with social media today. So if you are not taking advantage of all this stuff and you don't have kids and youth working in your business with technology and you don't have them on your side, like, watch out, they're coming. And a great example is what you're seeing in the news right now, if you watch the news, in the wake of this tragic shooting in Florida. The kids are really coming to the forefront on that issue. No matter which side of the issue you agree with, you have to admit that it's kind of tough to contend with them, right? It'd be kind of tough for the heads of the NRA to come out and go against these kids like they do against liberal politicians, right? NRA folks come out and go, oh, they just want to take your guns, blah, blah, blah. Pretty tough to come against the actual students who were in the school when a shooter came in shooting at them, and you're the NRA. I mean, no matter how you feel, you're going to look like the bad guy going up against these kids. So great job by the kids, and that's it for Topical Tuesday. Thanks, everyone, being here live, watching on the replay. I'll be back tomorrow with Wisdom Wednesday. Please let me know in a comment or below the video how you feel, agree, disagree. It's all good. And I'll be back tomorrow on Wisdom Wednesday, and I hope you won't be with me then. Bye-bye.